In fact, this year's figure is the lowest in 22 years. So crime is going down, but the perception of crime is going up.
What the hell this man is talking about perception. The reality is that the murder rate is too high in Jamaica, and we have a security force, a minister of justice, to really figure out what's supposed to happen. And for the past how much years, 1,000 odd people murdered in Jamaica is unacceptable. Bag of dunce, but man, all a glorified dunce. It's like we get upside down now. We get upside down. See a man them who blame politician and all them something there for them thing. Them is part of the problem. We talk about some of the music and them, some of the artists them I should say. Because them never use musician again and play music. It's a weird thing. So they write a square one again, that we have to do over the same thing what we did do yesterday again. We have to do the same thing what we do 10 years ago again. Because the youth them knew about the senior and them a carve out a different kind of world. And when you look on them, it's almost a scary movie I watch. Part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Scary movie. Bantan. Times changing. Stop gazing. Very serious commentary. Very serious information and very serious argument. Hey, look, man. Last week we mentioned it, and we're going to mention it again. The church need to not just be a religious organization that deal with the life after. But consider and say the church attack to people who is here right now and not people who gone. There's certain things that people involved in and is doing and cannot do because of how the system set up. And it's useless to keep telling people about them life after. When right now them life need to fix. Them life need to take a turn for the best. And given that the church claim responsibility for the spiritual awakening of the people. We need the church to realize that spiritual awakening is in the body. The spiritual and the flesh must work in accordance with each other, because it's not going to be separate. Your mind, your soul, what you take into your body spiritually and what you take into your body in terms of food is very important. It's used as a man saying spiritual and the food where I eat is not ticking with the body. It's used as a man saying I eat good, but in spirituality is not ticking with him body. So some people like to disregard the body. But the body is a very important part of the whole thing. The one can't do without the other. Yes, I say it. One can't do without the other. But we know that human being is the only creature on earth when know one day they are going to die. But every day them get up and try prevent it. And in that prevention, we're talking about doctor fee. We're talking about mind how you walk on the street, can't me lick it down. You're talking about headache because you have fret for certain things. But when you take it, the two of them have to work in conjunction with each other. I don't think nobody can lick against me for that. We have to work the two of them, spiritual and physical. I still have to tell you that. The spiritual and the physical must work together. So you have a state and you have a church and state. And since this is a democratic country and not a theocratic country like Iran and them place there, where the church and the state is one, we have to recognize that the church is where people gravitate towards mostly. They will give up them political affiliation, but it's very difficult for a Jamaican give up him religious affiliation. And since him religious affiliation mean more to him than anything else, it is incumbent on all of these people who claim to be preachers and teachers of the word of God to really, in the church, get involved with the physical manifestation of the human being. We are talking about how you do. You eat good. Where you live. You have water in your yard. You know, them kind of things that we are talking about. You pick your go to school this week. You know which part him there. The church can't just keep a preach, but you know, and when the Lord come, when we are happening and all them something, and that I see most of man do. Anytime you book a Christian on the road, all them are tell about the blood of the lamb, and them are go washing of the blood. That is good talking for a preacher, for a teacher who is a Christian. But when you get down to the nitty-gritty, justice. The church have to get involved with justice. Justice for the people. Because right now Jamaica said, trust me, justice take long to come. If it come. So we just plead, since we have the microphone in front of we plead to the church. Because really and truly, when you hear the radio, it's mostly Rasta sentiments are pushing at the music when it in there. When it in there, I have to say when it in there. It's only mostly Rasta sentiments. You know, see it. And even though some people kind of, you know, have a Christian build up, but most of the youth them gravitate towards a Rasta sentiments. So if a Rasta sentiments can come and show you, say, look where the culture gone and all them something there. And look how people are do this and this and that. That means a Rasta get involved in a more than just a religious perspective. You might get involved in the everyday life of the human experience. We're going to take a break and come forward. Me talk about the church and how we feel that the church should have participate more in social things. We talk about equal rights. We talk about justice. We talk about food, clothes, and shelter. You know, you have a whole heap of church building in Jamaica. Every block, every mile you go, them say that Jamaica have the most church per square mile than any other place. So them say. A rumbar. But those buildings are not used 7 days a week. Most of them only used on a Sunday. And if it's 7 days, them used on Saturday. Why is it that we have buildings in Jamaica that is only 1 day a week the building used? When there's so much things need to be done in a building, so much extra curriculum activities that can be done, so much social work that can be done in these buildings by social workers. Extra teaching can be done in these buildings. But these buildings are only reserved for Sunday. That is madness. We're living in a different time now. We can lock up building 6 days a week and then Sunday we'll open it up for 3 hours and then we lock it again. We need some building. You know, it's a joke business. We're talking about big people can go in there with social workers and learn about children, the psychology of children, parenthood, family values, all of these things. Because 3 hours in our church, when the pastor don't read the Bible and start to tell you what we're going to happen to you when you're dead, the church done, and you're gone home again, back to your normal life, cuss-bad life, you know, party life, you know, Ghana work life. Imagine you spend 5 days in our workplace from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock. You talk about 40 hours a week. 40 hours a week. In that, whether air condition or under the boiling sun, you work. And your body a wear out. You not eat good food. You don't know which part you pick the day. Why is it that we can, at least these persons who tell them care for the people them, open up the door them to the society, that people who have the interests, the social interests of the people them, can have a space. Can have a space of them SO something that them are called so thing where them have about the place. Them meetings where the people them want place, them call it town hall meeting. But you have you know, me used to live at Tex Lane. Right down on North Street there so. Right in front of George's school. And over the other side, one of the biggest churches in the Caribbean, Holy Trinity Cathedral Church. And them have over the other side a place named Rectory. I think them fun part right now in some young girls. You go there, St. Mary, something like that. Girls. And then the other side, over the other side, you have a KC school. Now that church has been there. In there, some of my mother christened me. And the only time that building they open is when father going there with them churches and little boys, what them call them altar boys. Altar boys go in there and keep church service. After that, it's done. No, me not have no building as holy or sacred. To me, building can't sacred. The only sacredness is a man's temple. And even them Bible tell them, say, know ye not that your temple, is your body is the temple of God. So really and truly, the seriousness of your prayer and the seriousness of your recognition of your spirituality must be defined internally. Internally. When you pray, you must go make up noise and bawl out loud. But you go one side in your toilet, sit down on the toilet seat, close your eye and pray. That means it's your internal you pray for and to. Not no outside being. So if you deal with justice, those buildings, since they are held sacred, those buildings are held sacred. Maybe if them put some bad man in there to sit down and listen to some social worker, even though we know some man nowadays not have no sacredness for no church, I'm going to the church go shoot you said we. But we know say you have man out there where, because him know say that church him go sit down with her. Him more want to listen to where I go on in there. Me don't know if me just attack foolishness. Me don't know if me attack foolishness, but me know say them building there is important and necessary for other things. And since we are search for what we call recommend, you want people to recommend ideas and things for make Jamaica move. This is my way for move it.
And a foolishness in a motor.
All right.
Ask for foolishness.
You're a man saying no foolishness.
It's an argument we have all the while with people. Church not for lock. None at all.
You said it on the radio, you said
yes, man, me I say it on the radio, man.
Okay, all right.
Church not for lock. None at all.
That me I said too. See,
yeah, man,
the
pastor for dead. For can service people at any time.
Our social workers.
Yes, man.
Yes.
Yes, man. When me say the pastor with a team of people,
yes,
including
yes,
social workers.
Yes. Yeah, man, that means I see from Shane say yes.
Yeah, man.
Me dead there. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. How can you come every week, every Sunday, I tell people about when them dead? When them dead, there's a reward, and you know the gold street paved with gold, and the blood of the lamb wash you and make you white as snow, and all these things. In our building, that is an inanimate object. It is only sacred because human beings make it sacred. Because me know a plaza right now for Constant Spring Road. You have a church downstairs and you have a go-go club upstairs. And it's the same building. It's the same building. Your body can be used for madness and your body can be used for goodness. Because your body is a temple. So we'll come after that. We're not going to talk about it again. Because I say, this is my little put in the whole thing. This is the Stepping Razor News Time.
Police have launched an investigation into the unauthorized withdrawal of funds from the bank accounts of 19 Jamaica National JN customers in Morant Bay, St. Thomas. The transactions reported from unknown automated teller and point-of-sale machines took place between January 6 and 9. In a release today, the bank said preliminary findings indicate that this occurred via card skimming. This is a form of fraud where criminals capture data from a bank card, which they use to create a duplicate card. They commonly do this by affixing devices at ATMs and POS machines that can read the card. The bank said investigations so far have confirmed that the breach did not occur at a JN Bank ATM or any of its POS machines. The bank noted, however, that it is in dialogue with other financial institutions which are also investigating. Police said they are aware of fraudulent activities at ATMs in Morant Bay. JN Bank said it is moving expeditiously with its investigations into the incidents in keeping with policies and procedures. A United States citizen was killed and a man wounded during a gun attack at a bar in Cheapside near Junction St. Elizabeth last night. Dead is 46-year-old Vernon Shearer of Mays Landing in New Jersey. Reports from the Junction police are at about 9:40 p.m. Shearer was at a bar when a motorcar approached and two men alighted and opened gunfire, hitting him in the upper body. In a bid to escape, the gunman fired several shots inside a Toyota Axia motorcar that was parked in front of the bar, wounding the complainant. The police were alerted and both wounded persons were transported to a hospital where Shearer was pronounced dead and the other man admitted. Investigations are ongoing. In news overseas, South African lawyers presenting their case accusing Israel of genocide at the International Court of Justice today claimed that Israel plans to destroy Gaza with permission from the highest level of the state. A lawyer for the High Court of South Africa told the ICJ that Israel's genocidal intent is evident from the way in which the military attack is being conducted. He said every day there is mounting irreparable loss of life, property, dignity, and humanity for the Palestinian people, and that nothing will stop the suffering except an order from the ICJ. Israel, which presented its defense on Friday, has vehemently rejected the accusations as baseless. The country argues that its actions in the Gaza Strip are justified because it is responding to Hamas's deadly attacks. Finally, Iran seized a tanker with Iraqi crew destined for Turkey today in retaliation for the confiscation last year of the same vessel and its oil by the United States. The seizure of the vessel coincides with weeks of attacks by Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi militias targeting Red Sea shipping routes. The vessel was seized by the U.S. last year in a sanctions enforcement operation when it sailed under a different name. Following the move, Iran warned the U.S. would not go unanswered. The ship was loaded with 145,000 metric tons of oil in the Iraq port of Basra and was heading to western Turkey via the Suez Canal when it was seized.
As our perception kind of make it get hyper. You know, if we never have that perception, we would feel more secure. The Jamaican people, them are foreign now and come back here. And enough of them me talk to. Them now want to come back here. That means they ask them for the title for them land, since we know them now come back. Give me the title for the land. Because none of them now come back. What the hell this man is talking about? About perception. The reality is that the murder rate is too high in Jamaica. And we have a security force, a minister of justice, to really figure out what's supposed to happen. And for the past how much years, 1,000 odd people murdered in Jamaica is unacceptable in no civilized country in the Caribbean. And we see Trinidad and neck with we. Trinidad, neck and neck with we. But I don't live in Trinidad. I live in Jamaica. And it's not something where I grew up in. When I used to live down a Raytown, when I used to live down a Tex Lane, when I used to live down a Woodford Park, when I used to live over Central Village, them thing there murder around me, but murder never in a me rasta. Because right now the murder come like it in a way. Believe you me, you see a car drive behind you and it a drive slow behind you. You wonder is where I go on. That my wife stop and give them pass to make sure make sure it's not follow business. You have to get people to drive behind you now, to secure you. It's what kind of thing that? What kind of thing that? About the statement where the PM make.
I saw a terrible video of a young lady being beaten. I was very distressed by it. This kind of savage violence being unleashed on a child by adults who seem to have no faculty of understanding that this is something that shouldn't be done. So what we have done is we have started the analysis of our violence data in Jamaica. And when we look at violent crimes and major crimes, we see that the reported major crimes, which would be murder, shooting, robbery, assaults, and rape, break-ins, are all trending down.
Major crimes trending down in the data where them are put together. Data them work with, not reality. It's paper and pen and write down. Not what is happening physically on the road, but data, and the data must write. Yes, the data must write.
In fact, this year's figure is the lowest in 22 years.
1,300 people murdered this year. It's the lowest murder rate for 20, how much years him said? Can't believe that. The lowest, And the imperception of it is that we have a perception, it's a perception we have that because him says the lowest in 20 odd years. What we supposed to do when we hear that? What we supposed to do?
So crime is going down, but the perception of crime is going up. So crime is going down, but the perception of crime is going up. So crime is going down, but the perception of crime is going up.
Crime is going down, but the perception of crime is going up. Perception.
It is so because Jamaicans look at crime and violence as one entity. And what we're seeing is that though the number of crimes that are being committed are reducing, the violent nature of the crimes are increasing.
Okay, so in the dictionary it say the meaning of perception, the ability to see, hear, or become aware of something through the senses. The normal limits to human perception, the way in which something is regarded, understood, or interpreted. That is perception, that according to the dictionary, the ability to see, hear, or become aware of something through the senses. So the people, them perception is through them senses. Perception is not something where you throw out in the air and the wind blow it away. Perception is a real thing. So even though the data show you say, well, this year have the lowest murder rate in the past 20 odd years. But the perception of the people don't make them feel that way there. Them senses don't make them feel that way there. And if the people, them senses don't make them feel that way there, that means to hell with the data, fix the problem. The data is just there for satisfy political talking and political maneuvering. And we, the Jamaica Labour Party, have carried down crime this year. For the past 20 years, crime has never been so low. Yes. Yes. And then we still have justice to deal with. Anyway, we're going to go to another story here where we asked Shamara to get in touch with this lady here because I really want to find out how justice stays in Jamaica and people forget. Years ago, a little girl was beaten by some woman. I think it's 5 women. I think it's around a Grand Spento or Barbican somewhere. And it was one of the biggest news in Jamaica at the time. We have the mother online here, Venetia Buckley. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Muta.
Long time I don't hear from you. Where you is? You're in Foreign? Where you there?
Yes, I'm overseas.
You're overseas, all right. Tell me, how much years now it is, by the way? How much years since your daughter get beat up? How much years?
3 years and counting from 2020 November.
Okay, that's when the COVID just started coming.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Where she is now? Where she there?
She's in Jamaica. She's home.
But she all right now, though?
What do you call all right?
No, why you tell me? No,
She's in a wheelchair.
She in a wheelchair?
Yeah, she's not walking. She still has a tracheostomy tube in her neck.
What is that love thing I call you? So where the ladies, them they are prisoner or what?
No, they're walking around free, still doing what they're doing.
No, you see it now. When them hear me talk on the radio, you know, them go on like say, I Rasta idiot man, him don't know what I say. How come them know the people them who do this serious criminal activity? And for how much years now? 3 years. People who do it is walking up and down like not never happened. That you say?
Yes.
So them never go to court and all them something there?
Case has not even started, my dear.
You see, that validates what I'm
Just
saying.
been put off. It was put off for nearly 2 years. And was called up back in November.
Yeah.
And then put off again. So, I've stopped following up on that anyway.
All right. So your daughter still take medications and still has a doctor and all them someday?
Same way.
So it's a case where she's not going to walk again, or it go. Tell what them say.
Well, it's not a case. It's a C2 spinal injury, as you all know already.
Yeah.
So it's just for her body or her spinal cord to regenerate. So,
okay.
So it might. Well,
I
I am hopeful that she will walk again.
Yes, of course you have to be hopeful for that. And you said the girl them still a walk street.
Yes.
And no case no call up yet after 3 years.
Nope, it was mentioned, but not no trial has begun, nothing.
But why taking so long? It's because what, too much cases back up on the court, or maybe you wouldn't even know that still.
I have not been given an explanation to this, so I don't know.
How you feel? Tell me how you feel.
That I can't say how I feel on radio, to be honest. But what I can say is there should be stricter penalties for these crimes. People should be held accountable for their actions. And it should not be the case where families have to be picking up the pieces of the damages that other people cause on their good children that they bring into this world. It's very unfair. These things are life-changing. It alters a person's life completely. I had a perfect child. And now my child is in a wheelchair with a hole in her neck.
A hole in her neck?
She has not heard her voice in 3 years. She has not heard her own voice in 3 years.
Explain that to me. What caused the hole in the neck? And why is it? Yeah.
Because of the C2 spinal injury. C2 is above all motor skill levels, which starts at C3.
Yeah.
So she lost all cognitive skills of her bowel movement. She lost everything. Movement in her limbs. She was supposed to be crippled from the neck down.
Wow.
So she was not, her lungs was not functioning on their own. Nothing was functioning on their own, basically.
Mm.
So this is slowly coming back. We don't know when or how, but it is slowly coming back. We don't know the duration of time it will take for her to get back to any normalcy, but we just have to pray and wait. These things change lives forever.
Yes, definitely. Let me ask you something. The other day we hear about a little girl who get beaten. You hear about it from a foreign, like where they are foreign. You hear about it, right?
Yes, because I spoke with the mother also.
Oh, yes. Oh, gosh, man. Oh, gosh. And it just makes it come right back to your situation.
Exactly. And it shows because nothing is being done by the justice system. There's no justice being served to the victims. These people laugh about these things. These people jeer about these things. And they take it so lightly when they ruin other people's lives as if it's nothing. So history continues to repeat itself.
And it did repeat itself the other day.
Yes.
It did repeat itself. Oh, gosh. So she's in the hospital of university. Which part is there?
Who, the young lady?
No, your daughter.
No, my daughter is home. My daughter is home with a 24-hour nurse.
And you have to pay for that?
Yes. Nobody else is going to pay for it. I have to pay for everything that this cost me. I am the one in millions of dollars in debt.
I can imagine. Wow. Why, Mama? From last week, I talk about justice, you know, and how justice is slow here in Jamaica. Because something I go take. I mean, you know it's who do it. You see the people them who do it. And it take you years to get some justice out, right, man? What kind of court system that? Eh? What kind of system that?
Exactly my point.
3 years now, and the youth sit down. I mean, never even know that she in a wheelchair. Sit down. Well, you know, the last time I see her around a island,
Yes,
remember I see her around a island the night. Yeah, I'm
around Isle Panton Spring.
Yes. Mama, may I tell you, I feel away. I feel away about it, and you know, I'm glad to call you, but sometimes what you tell me now make it bother me even more. That little girl in a wheelchair, you know what I mean? It's not supposed to be. And even if it be that way, but the people them who perpetrate this thing are supposed to be in prison. A simple thing. Them know who do it. You know, it's not no guess if and but. And I like somebody run when you go to them back and you try to figure out who. Them know who do it. I know you have to sit on this one.
Exactly.
Try make money.
Yes, they know who it's because I have spoken to one of the girls word for word in person.
Yeah.
So if there's no question to who started it, who did what.
Yeah.
And yet still there's nothing being done. Corruption is too rampant in that country. Yeah. Jamaica is one big corruption center, and that is the main issue.
And then the Prime Minister talk about perception. Which perception? A real
There's
sense.
no perception. Fact. This is fact.
Yes. Mama, sorry to hear that. You know, I don't want you just left you outside. I want to hear the movement of your daughter and hope say things work out. You know them really? Because that is what we all hope for. You know, and
well, she still has another surgery to do, so because she has a blockage in the throat.
Yes.
So we have to, and that surgery cannot be done in Jamaica. That is the next thing. And it does not come cheaply. So that is another case. So, okay. But I trust God. He has done it before and he will do it again.
Yeah. All right, Mama, give thanks.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Yeah, that was the mother, Venetia Buckley, of that little girl, Keelan Dowdy, who was beaten viciously by some big woman 3 years ago, 2020. And up to this day, that we are talking about, you know. Last week we talked about the justice for this little girl, the latest one. We talked about the justice for it, you know. Who remember, Longa Oche, when a police, a brother, I don't remember where the brother do, but him on the ground, and the people them stand up round him and the police point him gun at the youth, and the people them there ball out, shoot him, kill him, and the police just fire 2 shots now him both. And it on video. And guess what? Them leg of the police say them can't, the DPP say them can't find the man who made the video. And them can't trust the video. So them leg of the police. And nobody never come forward for that. All right, so that is that. Nobody never come forward. But guess what? It's a different thing.
All right, so Muta, get an update from programs that in the latest incident with that young girl here that the Prime Minister just talking about there.
The
little 14-year-old.
Yeah, what I'm saying.
The woman charged, they have been granted bail and will be back in court on March 26.
But that is what it happened with the girl 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Them get bail and get out on the road still. So we hear that, you know. We hear that. But that is how a whole heap of case go. Them go get charged, get bail back in the 26th. When them got the 26 years, so the case put off till next year, February. And it's so it go on and on and on and on. I don't understand it. I mean, boy, may I tell you, It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. The Prime Minister says it's a perception. Now, older mother there, what we just talked to, for 3 years. 3 years. And now our youth sitting in a wheelchair, Rasta. Wheelchair. At the time when we talked right now, she never mentioned a wheelchair. So it looked like the procedures were going at the hospital. Say she have to take a wheelchair feed. I guess she said she can't have her own voice. Them things they know normal, you know, Rasta. Them things they know normal. And now blam, at this time, you know, we could hear another little girl. Not to mention the little girl who hear the woman cut her throat. Now the baby will hey. Perception is a perception, you know, but there's nobody who's listening to you, Honorable, Right Honorable Andrew Holness, who's telling the people them say, crime is the lowest it ever been in 20 years. Because our perception is not that. Because the viciousness of the crimes cause our perception to be straight up. To say, look here, you could have talked about data a little more. The people them want to know what the government, don't matter come talk about it, it is up to we. It is up to the people them to this and the people them to do that. There must be some things that to be put in place. And we start to try to talk about put things in place because it's which part it a come from. Because we're not no doctor of this and that and psychologists this and that. People ignore it. Or them ignore it. And them go around the corner agree, you know, but them know say what me I say. It's something where them supposed to think about. Just like years ago when me did ask them, me did say, me could go find out from the mayor in New York, jail and the brother who get criminal activity and all. How him did do, when him did do for level the crime. When you go in a now way, you have prison without gate, without fence, and nobody no escape. How them do that? I know magic, you know. I know magic how them things happen, you know. That you have a prison when you have no fence. We're not telling nobody if it's not in Jamaica, but we just say there must be a formula that these people use to direct the course of criminality in them country. That you don't have people just a ride past on bike and shoot people. When we tell them and them say, look here, we know about the culture of Jamaica. Stop play game on street side and roadside. I'm in front of bar. Because you don't know who you play the domino with. You don't know who you play domino with. And when the bike man pass, him no skill, him no aim, him just fire. Who get lick. And a whole heap of time, the person who them go there for go kill, him get where. How much time when you hear me say that? It's like, it's true me attack. The man who them go for shoot, get where. And you hear 2 men dead. Innocent people. Stop play domino upon the corner. Go in on the yard, go play the domino. I want to farm a little thing where say, you go on my yard and me go on your yard next. I just saw. You have to figure it out. Take off the bike man, them off of the back of the bike. Because them a shoot the people, them. It's them run going what them call not Federal Express, what them call the place, Western Union them. Run going there, all of the people them, the man have on the bikes and them no jump on the bike and them can bob and weave through the traffic. If them did a car, them couldn't bob and weave through the traffic. But them bob and weave through the bike. The brother they will get shot out at Dunrabbin, right at Constant Spring and Dunrabbin. I trail them, you know, and them stop at the stoplight in them car. And 2 bike man just come up, 1 bike man just come boom, boom, boom. And the pillion just shot him and just ride off right in the middle of the traffic jam. Dead. So we know what we are saying, and no fool thing we are talking. It's just because they might watch the messenger and now watch the message. That is what they might do. They might watch the messenger and now watch the message. And just like how we are talking about justice, see it? This woman, after 3 years, and now we hear, you see the news in a IRFM there, send message to her and say, yeah, them charge the people them, and the court will call up February, March. All right, watch and see what will happen. Mark my word. Watch and see what will happen when March come. Okay. That me say too, I tell you, fork tongue. You know, the Indians say the white man talk with fork tongue. Politicians talk with fork tongue. Yeah, man. And them know the truth, but them hide it. And when they hear the truth come back at them vex and say you're a troublemaker. Why you saying these things? I know it's not true you're talking. And when them amongst themselves, them talk the same thing what you say. It's a terrible thing. Look how much justice, look how much cases of justice is supposed to be tried. And it take you years to go through. If a man in a prison for 9-10 years, and them give him 20 years, and in at the time, when them serve 10 years, the court bring him in front of the court and them say, him not guilty, him free to go. You know, I should ask Shamara to find out for me, or Vivian. Can he take action against the state for having him imprisoned for 10 years, waiting and I'm going to make a case in point? Vibes Cartel in a prison for maybe 9-10 years now. And them say next month I'm going to carry him in front of the Privy Council. Suppose the Privy Council say him not guilty. Can he take a action against the state for holding him in prison for 9 years? I'm live. I need some answers, so I hope one of these ladies upstairs I hear me and try to find out from a lawyer. Go, find out from a lawyer for me before the program done, because it's very important. Because what I want to say next, depending on what I hear now. So, could you please, Shamara, just call one of the lawyers them who will know good, for just ask him that simple question. If a man in a prison and him get 20 years, and him supposed to go to the Privy Council, and in 10 years, them can't go to the Privy Council, and them say him not guilty, can he take action against the state? African names for today's people and children. So we're going to start with the female name, Zamzam. Zamzam, Z-A-M, means Holy Spring. Holy Spring. Zarifa. These names are Swahili names, Zarifa. Z-A-R-I-F-A, Zarifa, means graceful. Graceful. Zenabo, Z-E-N-A-B-U, Zenabo. Zanabo means beautiful. Beautiful. And the next one is Zamini. Zamini means, Z-A-M-A-N-I, means long time ago. So we have Zamani, Z-A-M-A-N-I, means long time ago. Zamzam, Z-A-M, means Holy Spring. Zarifa, Z-A-R-I-F-A, Zarifa, means graceful. And Zenabo, Z-E-N-A-B-U, Zenabo means beautiful. So we go to male names now. Here we go. Dakarai, D-A-K-A-R-A-I, Dakarai. Shona name, he brings happiness. He brings happiness. Damani, D-A-M-A-N-I, Damani, means he is thoughtful. He is thoughtful. Darwishi, D-A-R-W-E-S-H-I, Darwishi, means he is like a saint. And Daudi, D-A-U-D-I, means beloved one. So that's Dakarai, D-A-K-A-R-A-I, means he brings happiness. Damini, D-A-M-A-N-I, Damini means he's thoughtful. Darwishi, D-A-R-W-E-S-H-I, Darwishi, he's like a saint. And Daudi, D-A-U-D-I, Daudi, means beloved one. African names. I don't know if you hear about Elon Musk. It's going on some serious things. Elon Musk is now telling that this year he might have some chips that will be implanted in people to alleviate certain sickness like dementia and like Alzheimer's, these things. Just these chips will work on your body internally. Now, I know people think about chip, the question is to save your father and your mother from being in that situation, demented situation. Would you give the doctor to go ahead and plant a chip in them body to alleviate that problem? What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Listen to this.
We think probably in about 6 months we should be able to have our first Neuralink in a human. So the first two applications we're going to aim for in humans are restoring vision, and I think this is like notable in that even if someone has never had vision ever, like they were born blind, we believe we can still restore vision. The visual part of the cortex is still there. Even if they've never seen before, we're confident that they could see. As miraculous as it may sound, we're confident that it is possible to restore full body functionality to someone who has a severed spinal cord.
You hear that? That's Elon Musk talking about this year, just as early as this year, what him develop and what him plan to do. So, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? Because somebody, it now go for most ones who are listening about them family members. Would you be, if you can afford it too, because it's all about affordability too. If you can afford that, would you allow it in a family member? I could play it again.
We think probably in about 6 months we should be able to have our first Neuralink in a human. So the first two applications we're going to aim for in humans are restoring vision, and I think this is like notable in that even if someone has never had vision ever, like they were born blind, we believe we can still restore vision. The visual part of the cortex is still there. even if they've never seen before, we're confident that they could see. As miraculous as it may sound, we're confident that it is possible to restore full body functionality to someone who has a severed spinal cord.
Okay. Think on that. According to the lawyer, the question is, suppose a man in a prison and him get 20 years for a crime and him got 9 and them not call up the case and him go in front of the judge or the Privy Council and them find him not guilty. What can be done? Well, according to the lawyer, him say the state can be charged for malicious prosecution. The state can be charged for malicious prosecution. That is after him in a prison for so long, only for come find out, say, him not guilty. So that is the answer to that by a well-known lawyer.
Now the news. The 7 persons charged in connection with the brutal beating of a 14-year-old girl in Clarendon in December last year were granted bail with strict conditions today. They are 52-year-old Pauline Hugh Smith, Fayanne Millwood, 22-year-old Amanda Anderson, 3 girls ages 15, 16 and 17, and a 17-year-old male. Hugh Smith, Millwood and Anderson were granted bail in the sum of $1.2 million with sureties. The 4 minors were granted bail in the sum of $600,000 each with sureties. They are to return to the Clarendon Parish Court on March 26. Senior Parish Judge Delia Finlay, in granting bail, placed a gag order on the accused which prohibits them from discussing the case in public. They are also banned by the judge from using WhatsApp and all other social media platforms. The incident involving the brutal beating of the complainant went viral on social media. The teen was admitted at hospital in serious condition but is now recuperating at home. IRFM News understands that while the teen is not in much pain, she is not yet able to return to school. 31-year-old Richard Eupenix from Latvia was freed of drug charges when he appeared in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Tuesday. He was freed of charges of conspiracy, possession of cocaine, dealing in and attempting to export cocaine. Mr. Eupenix was arrested last March at the Norman Manley International Airport while he was about to board a flight to London, England. Surveillance revealed that just before accosted by the police, he received a package from an in-bond store sales agent. The police conducted a search and found packages of cocaine disguised as Jamaican rum. Eupenix denied having knowledge of the drugs and produced a receipt to prove he had purchased the rum from the store. His attorneys, King's Counsel Peter Champagny and Richard Lynch, argued that the surveillance did not reveal that the accused made a switch with a packet or tampered with it. Therefore, the prosecution's case against him could not succeed. Eupenix was freed by the judge after the prosecution conceded that a viable case could not be made out against him. The Clarendon police arrested 2 men and recovered several stolen appliances during an operation this morning. Crime Officer Deputy Superintendent Clifton Green says it appears the men set up a store in a home from which they have been selling the items. A date is to be decided for the deportation of the 10 undocumented Cubans who were seen at a hotel in Trelawney last month. Head of the Trelawney Police, Deputy Superintendent Winston Milton, says the Cubans went to court today. He says the deportation order was obtained by the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency PICA from the Ministry of National Security. Reports are that on Saturday, December 30, the Cuban men were seen at the hotel and the police were alerted. The Cubans were medically examined, then taken into police custody. The police have arrested a St. Anne man believed to be linked to an ongoing scam being carried out by persons impersonating Government Minister Darrell Vaz. The scammers have fleeced millions from people. The police say the latest suspect was arrested after they launched investigation into an incident involving the owner of a hotel in Portland, which occurred between January 9 and 10. The businessman was reportedly approached by the imposter, claiming to be the assistant of Mr. Vaz and later identifying as Mr. Reynolds, a customs officer. The imposter reportedly offered the complainant an opportunity to purchase 2 Toyota Prado motor vehicles and asked for a payment of $2.5 million for customs duty and storage fees. The police say the businessman consulted Mr. Vaz to confirm the fraudulent nature of the scheme. The police were alerted and a sting operation was conducted, leading to the arrest of a 31-year-old auto mechanic from Jocks Hall, St. Anne, when he attempted to collect the money. The suspect is being detained at the Denham Town lockup for obtaining money by false pretense as the investigation progresses to determine the full scope of his fraudulent operation. Meanwhile, Mr. Vaz says he intends to continue assisting the police in their probe and to include international authorities if necessary to bring the matter to a close.
I can confirm that I was notified of another arrest in relation to somebody using my name to scam people for money. What is worrisome to me is that since the arrest, I've gotten 5 phone calls from other persons who also have been approached by telephone contact impersonating me. I now consider this based on the arrest of an individual last year where I thought that this matter was put to bed, to realize now that the mastermind is still at large. This is a very serious matter which is going to require the attention of all of the authorities, local and international, to get to the mastermind. And I'm prepared to do anything in my power, including putting up a reward for the capture of this mastermind. They have fleeced millions of dollars over the last 2 years using my good name, and this must stop. This is an absolute disgrace where people are losing millions of dollars as a result of my good name.
Government Minister Darrell Vaz. Opposition spokesman on technology Dr. Andre Horton is calling for immediate and comprehensive action to address financial-related frauds and ensure compensation for affected individuals. His appeal comes amidst growing concern over unauthorized financial transactions and missing funds from bank accounts across various institutions. Speaking with IRIFM News this morning, Dr. Horton said the recent incidents involving fraud at local banks raise serious concerns about the security of the country's banking systems and highlight the pressing need for a thorough investigation and decisive measures to prevent such occurrences in the future. The number of councillors representing the People's National Party PNP within the Clarendon Municipal Corporation has increased. This as former Jamaica Labour Party councillor for the Moko division in Clarendon, Romaine Morris, crossed the floor to sit with the PNP caucus at today's council meeting. Following the crossover, PNP caretaker for North Central Clarendon, Dr. Onche Dixon, welcomed Mr. Morris. Dr. Dixon says the council looks forward to working with Mr. Morris in any capacity he may serve within the political organization. The Maypen Hospital in Clarendon is the first public hospital to implement an electronic health records EHR system in the country. The system, for which a contract was signed last February, was launched at the hospital this morning. Dubbed a game changer and a historic move, the EHR system is being implemented as part of the health system's strengthening program. Speaking at the launch, Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton explained that the transition from a paper-based system paves the way for enhanced technology, reduced patient time, and improvements in data security, among other things. Dr. Tufton also noted that the EHR will allow the healthcare providers access to review a patient's full medical history through a database, whether at a health center or hospital. This, he said, will enable health professionals to access patients' medical history in a controlled environment to deliver faster responses. Agriculture Minister Floyd Green says coffee farmers will be prioritized under the new Face of Food initiative. The minister says in the next financial year, the ministry will launch the Crop Restoration and Establishment Program, CREP, focused on rebuilding Jamaica's coffee industry. Addressing the launch of the Blue Mountain Coffee Festival in Kingston, Mr. Green said CREP is a forward-thinking initiative aimed at rejuvenating and uplifting the coffee sector. He said the program is tailored to suit 5,000 coffee farmers and over 100,000 farm families. The minister noted that coffee farmers are affected by harsher climatic conditions, aging farming population, and increased costs for agricultural inputs. He said later this year, the ministry will be seeking to ensure that coffee farmers get a fair price for their beans.